Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time zone you're in. You're now watching Tyrannus at Cosplay, and tonight I am working on a commission. This fellow here, the battle shield wielded by Bjorn in the television series Vikings. Now, all of the shields that the Vikings character, hello, we got a bit of an ad playing in the background, typical. All of the Vikings in the series seem to be wielding shields made of the same basic construction type, so I have some reference images that I managed to snaffle from watching season 2 and doing screen grabs of a particular scene that shows the back of the shield. Because after researching Viking shield construction for this client, I noticed that the screenshots that I'm seeing, or the glimpses I was seeing of the back of the shields in the TV series, did not necessarily equate to the back of the shields I was seeing in the historical images of Viking shield construction, such as they were, because wooden shields don't last long. The major difference being the length of the handle in the back, and the handle is the term I'm using because unlike the shield that I made from my Nordic carved armor, Viking shields have a single grip for the wielder, right in the center behind that dome. They don't have the they don't have the stereotypical strap in the hand and one across the bicep like European shields that we're used to seeing. These guys have one single hand grip behind that dome based on the screenshots, and I managed to get some good screenshots so I can see that the back of the shield is pretty much a plain flat leather coated backing. As you can see by Bjorn's shield, the one that I'm doing, it's a wooden construction made out of planks, as are most Viking shields, so I've been told. If you look across there, there are 10 planks, and Viking shields ranged between 32 to 36 inches on average, and some of them, the Gok stud, were the huge ones, which were 37 inches. So I converted that across to centimeters, 80 to 90 centimeters, with the Gok studs being 94. After looking at the screenshots, I've gone with an 80 centimeter shield because it looks right on that character. Steiner 69, hello, thanks for joining me tonight. How you been doing? I'm about to make the shield here, and you can see it laying down there on the floor. The outer circle there is a 90 centimeter circle, and it looked way too large when compared with the character holding it. There is this screenshot here, which I was using as my initial reference, which made the shield look massive, but it's trick photography, boys and girls. Hi, Helter Skelter. It is the shoot from a low angle, zooming up, making it look big after watching the entire season 2. This image here is far more appropriate, and the shield does not look that massive in most shots. So after scaling it from elbow to wrist, I've gone with an 80 centimeter diameter for that. You're tired? How can you be tired? It's only 10:30 at night. So, yeah, down there on the floor is a piece of core flute, and I'm going to use that as a base. I'm going to sandwich that between 2 layers of EVA foam. The back will be as large pieces as I can do. The front will actually be 10 individual pieces of foam, like the planks in the build. Okay, and I'm going to do them as individual slats, texture them individually. You can see there's a really distinct difference in wood grain. That one there at the tip of my finger is very grainy, whereas the ones on either side of it look almost smooth. And I think from it's 4:30 where you are, and you cleaned the house. Okay, that'll make you tired. I feel in my own head actually cutting those into planks or the foam into planks, and texturing each one as an individual plank will give me a much better look of individuality across the shield, rather than trying to just make it a big disc and texturing each one separately as I work my way across. I think I'll fall into the trap of keeping the pattern going across there. Now, it looks like I'm getting quite a lot of frame drop rate there, and I've upgraded to the latest version, so hopefully that's not affecting you guys watching the stream. I might turn the emails off in the background so that they're not triggering bandwidth and making everything go burko back there. Okay, so my first step is to cut that disc out, which I've got on the floor down there at the inner circle, the 80 centimeter circle. And then start doing the planks for the front. I'm going to work from the front to the back so that I get the actual look first. It's fine, your end, Helter. Beautiful. I know it's got like a 4.7% drop rate there. So, okay, without any further ado, first step, cut that disc out, and then grab foam and start making the planks for the outer surface, which, as I said, the shield is 80 centimeters across. I'm going to just turn that camera angle a bit so I'm actually in the screen. So it's 80 centimeters across, and there are 10 planks across there, and apparently somewhere in the television series there is some explanation as to why 10 planks. I don't know, haven't seen it, don't know. As I said, all I did was watch season 3 from start to finish to get some idea of the shield and feel for it. So as I said, 10 across there, you can see it's split right. There's a definite line where 3 degree, there we go. There's a definite line in the center, and there's 5 planks on either side. So 80 divided by 10, each one of those planks is going to be about 8 centimeters wide. So I'm just going to cut 8 centimeter strips of foam to make planks out of. But first things first, let's cut that circle out over there on the floor. The cutting with the sharp knife thing. Ting! Okay, we've got a nice distinct tip on the end of the blade. Zing, 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 zing. Okay, excuse me while I crouch down on the floor and cut out circles. Circle, singular. Now to get the perfect circle, all I did was the string compass technique. There's a pinhole in the middle here, a piece of string 40 centimeters, tied my lead pin to the end of it, and basically just spun it around the circle, and it worked really well. Yep, we're hitting stuff on the other side, more way over there. Now the reason I'm using the core flip is just to give it some internal strength. Not much, and to keep the weight down, because if you're going to carry anything this size around a convention for any length of time, you don't want it to be massively heavy. And no, I'm not scoring the tiles underneath. I don't think I'm actually going all the way through the core flute on this first pass, to tell you the truth. That I can feel. I purposely don't want to push hard. I don't want to damage the tile, score the tiling underneath with my box cutter. So I'd rather do a few really light passes. Yeah, basically this core flute is just going to be sandwiched between the two layers of foam. Sorry, I can't see what you're typing up there. Give us a sec, guys, and I'll get back into the conversation properly. Oh, okay, I didn't miss any conversation while I was down there on the floor. Anyway. And Captain America throws his mighty shield. Except it's not his shield, so they won't yield. Choink. Whoop, that went off the track. Hello? Okay, so that is the size of this shield. Let's get back in the screen there. Much larger than mine, but I think that is going to do him the world of good. Okay. Now both the character and my client are the same height, 188 centimeters. Core flute's what you use for the Weeping Angel's wing. So absolutely, it's really light. Does have a tendency to bend easily with its grain. So with that in mind, what I'm going to do is the grain of the core flute, which is running across this way, and the grain of the wooden planks, I'm going to put it 90 degrees so one counters the other. It won't make much of a difference because core flute is very light, but it will make some difference. So it's all going to be EVA foam basically, with the exception of that core flute core. Right down to the dome, I'm going to make a foam dome and put it on the top, a reinforced foam handle on the back, foam trim around the outside edge there. If you can see the top edge, you can see there's a definite lip. That is a rim around there, and of course those stud heads will also be foam, the rivet heads around the edge and around the center of the boss. You can't see it too well in that image, but when you blow it up, actually you can see it on the top of the dome. There's a bit of shadow there. There are two studs there, and on the plank that runs parallel to that, on the other side of the dome, there are two more studs because the handle is bolted across the back of that dome. And if it ran straight along the boards, it would be where the split is. So they put some on one board and some on the other board, so it's slightly diagonal, the actual handle across there, which explains the way that the shield is hanging while he's holding it like that. So yeah, I had a look, close look. Actually, I think you can see them there. You can see the light shadow here. Well, in that shadow down around there, there are two more on the opposite side of the split in the wood. This is a colour image, it's much easier to see in colour, but I don't have a colour laser printer. Sandwich between polystyrene sheets, then you put stainless steel wire inside the corrugations to curve the wings. Beautiful. Okay, so that's my reference image. That's going to sit over there. Now that's done, I'm going to cut foam into 8 centimeter wide strips, knocking off the corrugations around the foam because we don't want that. For the long strips, I'm actually going to cut and buttress two pieces flat together. giving me a nice smooth line on the outside. At least that's my plan. Alright, really need to clean up my workspace. I need to keep those details. That's for the other project that is for me. We have a house inspection on Thursday, which means at some stage I have to stop crafting and clean the hell up before the real estate agents come and check out their property. But they're pretty good. They stop freaking out over sets of armor and weapons and stuff floating around the house while I'm building. Okay, so we want the steel where we can get to it. We want the blade where we can get to it. Don't want the keys anywhere near there. Put that over there and put the sewing needle in here. I really should have done all this prep and clean up my desk before you guys got here, but you know, best laid plans of mice and men. Okay. Now, I know somewhere down here on the work surface is a sewing needle with some cotton in it, as opposed to the darning needle that I just put aside there, but bugger if I can... Oh, no, there it is. It's already in the cotton. Good, good. Sure. I'm going to use these big sheets, which are not the ones I brought today. They're the same size. They're 60 by 60s, but they're only about 10 mil thick. I think these are the old cheapos. No, actually, these are my good ones. I'm not going to give you that. They're the ones next to them that I want. Because the sandwiching of the core flute and the 2 layers of foam means that I don't need to use really thick foam, and the profile of the shield is not really that thick. So I think 2 of these with the core flute in the middle will give me the width that I need. So essentially I'm just going to knock off the jigsaw to give me 2 flat edges and just cut 80 mil slabs. Easterly. Easterly? Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome along. I'm Tyrannus Cosplay. I like to make stuff out of foam. Tonight working on that, whoops, bing, that shield there for a commission for a client. Let's put that down there. These going to be long enough. Yep, that ruler will do the trick. So like I said, I'm going to knock off the edges down both sides, and then awesome cosplay I made. My Nordic, my baby. Thank you very much. A lot of fun, a lot of work. 9 months worth of work to make that. Well, 140 something odd hours. He's sitting over there, keeping an eye on the room while I go, while I'm working, making sure I don't screw up. Okay. So I made sure that my blade's nice and sharp. Smooth, straight cuts. Okay. Whoops, why does that say inches? That's better. I don't read inches well. Got my priorities, got my cup of tea. I think I've got some background music there working for you guys while I'm not nattering. Hopefully it's not too loud and drowning out the stream. You guys will let me know, no doubt. One, two, Oops, how many am I going to get out of there? Bill has put his book up, A Beginner's Guide. Yes. He always puts that up on his birthday as a free download, as a present to us. And unfortunately, we hit his site so hard that it shut down as if it was like a DDoS attack. He wasn't prepared for the literal tens of thousands of people. So now, after that, as a way of apologising to those of us who could not get to it, he's put it up free of charge ad infinitum. Forever. It's a really good place to start. Him and Evil Ted, of course. Will not hear a bad word come out of my mouth about Evil Ted. The man is a guru. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I don't think I'm going to get another 80 out of there. Nope. Okay, so I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's back up on Amazon. Yeah, and he put a free link up. It might have been the Amazon link. Yeah, it was quite embarrassing for him. And thankfully, being the creative community that we are, he didn't get harassed about it. We understand that you can't control the interwebs. The interwebs controls us. Eight and 8 is 16. 16 and 8 is 24. 24 and 8 is 32. 32 and 8 is 40. 40 and 8 is 48. You downloaded it this morning? Yeah, I've got it. I have most of Evil Ted's books. Rip. I have most of Evil Ted's books and most of Kamui's books too. Svetlana. Print them out and put them in my little folder here and review them all the blinking time. So yeah, lots of golden goodness in Bill Duran's books. Indeed. Sancho! How the devil are you? Thanks for joining us, Sancho. Good time of the day. I like that. That's a very diplomatic way of saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Yeah, whichever version it is in your time frame, it's just a good time of the day. I like that. I like that. It's safe. It's good. Oh dear. Right, so 80 centimetre straps, or 80 centimetre planks. I'll lop the ends off there, turn them into planks to work my way across the shield. Now some of these are going to take more than one width to get the full length to go across that shield, and some won't. Meh, no mansky. Okay, and you might have noticed too, I'm not glowing like Donald goddamn Trump. I changed that light globe out. I got rid of the blue and put the warm daylight globe or whatever the hell it was in there previously, and the camera is now picking up the light a little more correctly. I still got the 2 desk lamps on there, which makes it kind of bright, but at least now you can see what I'm doing without that god-awful orange glow, and I wish I had have changed it out before I did that fake scar, because it looks a lot better in this light. Anyways, returning to the slicing of the foam. And as I have to clean up for the house inspection on Thursday, it's going to cut into my crafting time, but it does mean that I can bring my glass table surface, cutting surface, back off of the other workbench that's over on that side of the room and put it back on my workbench. Although I've got a build day tomorrow afternoon. The young Padawan is turning up so we can work on his Obi-Wan armor. And what's happening next weekend? Easter weekend. Matt's coming down from Perth to do some work on his armor and some of his props. Then the following weekend, the 22nd, I have some photos in my costume for a coffee magazine of all things. Don't know how many people want to be drinking coffee with my Nordic carved armor bleeding and blooding all over the place, but we'll see how we go. So, as I said, I figure by doing these as separate planks on the front of this, I'll be able to get the texture like those rounded edges. You can see the light catching on those with the low angle light actually showing definite distinct planks, and the fact that they don't fit snugly like floorboards. They fit like something that would have been built during the Nordic age, the Viking age, whatever age we want to term it. So once I get the planks cut to size and shaped for the round of the disc, I'm going to get the Dremel out and roughly round this edge off with a sanding disc, so that when I put them together there'll be that definite gap between the planks, and each plank will get its own wooden texture on it so that they look as individual as those planks there look. It's not a particularly complex build. The problem was doing the research, finding out what's going on behind the shield, etc. There's a couple of bits and pieces to it. Like I said, the handle on the back, the lining, trim around the edge, studs. That dome right in the center is surrounded by a flat surface with studs around it. There are 6 studs around that to hold that dome on. But yeah, like I said, all in all, not a particularly complex build. I think it's going to be more in the texturing and finishing that sells this one than anything else. What do I got there? 1, 2. I got 5. This is the 6th one off of here. Put that over there because that's a good healthy size of offcut that will probably be used again. I just want to get the core flute disc that I've got here and see whether placing one, yeah, good. I'm not going to need, by placing the edge of the board on the edge of the core flute, I can see, Beardshire! I can see that at least this one strip will give me the very outer edge of the shield without it having to be extended. And I may even get, no, I won't. Once I cut the zigzag off the end, I'm going to need to put a piece, beep, I'm going to need to put a piece on the top here to bring it past. So it's only the 2 outer ones that I'm going to get away with, only one piece of foam. The rest will need to be extended, but that's not a major problem. You made one of those. This is a commission piece, Beardy, from the television series of Vikings. So somebody wants me to make Bjorns' shield. Foam board and balsa wood. Yeah, I'm not a balsa wood kind of guy. I'm a foam fanatic fabricator, so I'm sticking with what I know so that I know I can give him the result he wants. But yes, I think we actually chatted about balsa wood And I think it was the two of us that was chatting about balsa wood. Yeah. Okay, so let me tip that back up again. I'm going to lop these edges off here and then cut a second sheet into 80mm strips and lay them out on the foam. Mark out the circle on them and then number them on the back across, and then start getting into texturing them. It was just really light. Yeah, this will be light. This will be light enough for him to tote around all day at a convention, but it won't be so light that it doesn't have some sort of feel to him. I promised him that I would make a con-safe, con-compliant shield. So while at the moment cosplaying as the character is not his ultimate, it's his end goal, but until that's done, he wants to be able to use this as a display piece at home. At least that's my understanding. You did the balsa wood before this foam thing even existed. Oh, I'm sorry, Seek, not ignoring you, buddy. I did see you pop out there. Thanks for joining us again. See, I'm just kind of squaring off the edges now so that I don't get distracted by these pieces, and if I have to buttress pieces together, I have a good flat surface to work with. I'm about 90% sure, yeah, not foam, the foam mat, so I understood. I'm about 90% sure what my next big costume, the step up from the Nordic, is going to be. But we'll see. And I had one of those scary epiphany moments, guys. You know how I'm off to Sydney to represent Western Australia in the championships. It only hit me yesterday or the day before. There's only going to be 4 other people up on that stage with me. You're doing the For Honor Warden. Yes. I'm pretty certain my next build is going to be another one from Skyrim. I really wanted to do a WoW costume because I've been playing World of Warcraft forever, and I find building costumes that I'm emotionally invested in gives me a much better result. But this particular armor that I want to build from Skyrim is just saying, pick me. So I have. Okay, so that's one stack. I'm going to cut... actually, I'm not sure if I'll cut another stack. Let's just lay them out first and see whether I need a second... how much of a second stack I need, okay? So, you can't see what I'm doing there. Put that there and swing the camera over. You know, I'm not fancy. I don't have 2 cameras in my work area. Yeah, now, obviously, when I put these together, I would top and tail these junctions. I wouldn't do all the short pieces on one side. It's going to reduce the strength of the shield and give it a snapping point. I would alternate like so as I work across. But at the moment, I'm just trying to work out how much more material I need to cut to finish the planks. And I think I probably should commit the entire second sheet to the planks. It's not like it's an expensive material that I'm using to build with, so I can afford to sacrifice a bit of it. So let's get the second one cut into 80s. You think if you made any set of leather, it would be the Thieves Guild armor set? Absolutely. My almost 100% committed to project for my next big build is a set from Skyrim that starts with D. And the second letter is not an R. Right, let's knock off one of these edges down the bottom here. Whoop, sorry about that. Can't remember whether I sharpened that before I put it down or not, so it won't hurt doing it again. Now, despite the fact that these were really cheap sheets of foam, yes. That's my plan. I'm seeing that as a major step up in what I've already done, so it'll be a challenge that I will need to raise the bar on. And I'm thinking that where the red shows through on the Daedric, that I have the opportunity now to do lead light underlighting as well as painting to sell that project. Okay, that's the sleeves done. You can see the Lich head in the background for a later project. Let's take a look. What's going on? No, I don't know what happened with the link there. I got a YouTube video, Beardy. The Dragonborn light set is nice. Yeah, I don't have the physique to carry that off. I like my armor builds. Wrong link. It's okay. We'll call it a lack of sleep or something. All about crows. Ah, Odin's messengers. Righto. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. Eight, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. And yes, I'm doing that out loud, not because I have to, but so you guys can go, "Oi, Tyrannus, that's wrong." And as you haven't, I shall assume it wasn't wrong, and I shall continue on my merry blind way, stumbling from point to point. You know what else I'm going to do? Oh, that looks much more like a link that we're supposed to be clicking on, brother. Let's take a gander. Started on the quilting. Oh, I don't envy you that. And I see your Lich there, and I also see your Schwarzenegger Conan poster in the background. I have a friend who teaches swordplay for LARP players, who's offered to teach me that short kata that Schwarzenegger's Conan does, so that I have some more posturing that I can do on stage, and I can bring out the greatsword instead of leaving it on my back. which is why I'm in the process of reinforcing the blade slightly, because that PVC tube means the blade goes and would not look all too convincing in a carter that swings it all around the place. Yes, I'm lopping off the nipples before I cut strips. It means one swipe instead of severals. Ensuring, of course, that I don't knock off my measurements. Anybody else in chat that's got projects that they'd like to share with the class, feel free to do so. As Beardy's demonstrated, the links are available. That's an original movie poster. Beautiful, mate. I actually loved his renditions of Conan. Sure, it was cheeseoid 80 movies, I should say. I really liked them. That's not to say I didn't enjoy Jason Momoa's version of Conan, but yeah, it's just something. Get no points for waving a floppy. Then, ladies and gentlemen, Seek is back in the house. Okay, a little bit of WD-40 there on my sharpening steel, just to clean the. Yeah, I love them too. Bloody well, Red Sonja, and was it James L. Jones that did the Snake Lord? Just needs to stiffen up. Well, I got some little blue pills there. Could always force feed them to it. There's just something fun and quirky about them. It was James L. Jones, thank you. Oh, God, I love the way that just zings straight through phone. Full Saddam. That's him. Yes. I think it was one of the first movies I saw boobies in because I was kind of young. I still am young, but you know. Actually, no. Now I think of it, probably managed to see boobies before Conan. There we go. The tone of conversation has just fallen. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm easily distracted. I think I've got that, where to put him? Down there. I think I've got the problem with the flex in the sword solved anyway. Yeah, please do, buddy. So, yeah, she's got some rigidity to her now. The tip is still con-safe. But I'm running a 10mm aluminium core down there. The reason it's split is for mounting on the existing handle piece, etc. But yeah, that will allow me to wield that around a bit better. Need to do seam sealing on it, battle damage, and seal and paint. But that'll be the replacement blade for that two-handed greatsword that I made. It's the same size and shape and everything. It's just slightly more rigid. I tell you what, Helter, I loved the skit that the girls did for Hocus Pocus. I've watched it several times. It keeps turning up in my Facebook feed, mate. That was bloody hilarious, and your girls captured that perfectly. Okay, let's toss that over there. Oh, my palm's itchy. Either I'm getting money or I'm going to spend it. Knowing me, yeah, it's probably more like the spending thing than the getting thing. Cold cup of tea, and not an Earl Grey, just normal. Not the most enjoyable cuppa I've had. Okay, so now I've got these. Let's go back to the laying out on the floor. If you've got a link to that video, feel free to throw it up in chat there so the rest of the crew can see what the girls did. Oh, it was freaking fun, guys. You'll enjoy it. Just don't abandon my stream to watch it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the center line. Oh, so damn close. That's a little scary. I think it's going to take another couple of... We got there. Whoop. There, and that's going to be 1. There and there's going to be 2. And you're probably going to take another 2 slices at 8mm to fill in these remaining gaps around there. So pretty much 3 sheets of foam to cover the outside of it in the way I'm doing it. There and there. Let's oh, what have we got there? Where's my pen gone? There it is. And my ruler. $60 there. $60 there. Match those puppies up. Match those 2 up. $22 there. 22 there. I'll match those 2 up. There and there, so I put registration marks on the ends of these so I know what to match them up to down there on the floor. This is Skit 2 daughters and their friend did at Comic-Con. Your 2 girls are the blonde and the one with the orange hair, i.e. the lead. Yeah, a lot of fun, guys, so yeah, check that out. I enjoy it and get a giggle out of it every time I watch it. Takes me straight back to the movie every time. Okay, let's put those 2 in there temporarily. Grab these puppies. See how we go. Okay. Seems a little thicker. Shouldn't be. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm actually thinking I might be able to use the I've got stuff on one of those edges over there. Square that puppy up a bit. Oh, it's that Mitcho13, Mitch013, Mitch, g'day. Thanks for the follow. Welcome along to my little Tyrannus TV. Currently working on a commission of the shield that you can see there from the television series Vikings, and that's my work in progress down there on the floor. Feel free to jump in and join the conversation, and as you will see, when you click on the rules for joining the conversation, it basically just says don't be a dick. Simple. If only life was really that simple, eh? Put that puppy there. Whoa. Okay. That can go there. That I can chop off there, and I can put this probably in that gap there. So waste not, want not. We're getting there. Yep, that'll do that. Ha ha! Nearly there, my friends. We can start joining these planks together to make long planks. Then what I'll do is I'll lay them out, I'll flip the shield over, and I'll trace out the circle on the back and trim them to shape. Hello, what's that there? That is Shaz30. Thanks for joining us, Shaz. Yeah, Biddy, I'm going to do a combination of, because there's actually no wood grain painted, the shield is red, like you can see there. I'll do a combination of texturing with the Dremel and washes. I think the black shoe polish wash will really sell the grain once I engrave it with the Dremel bit. If it was a brown shield, a wooden shield, then yeah, I would go more for a paint technique to try and bring out the texture in the wood as well as the Dremeling. Because it is this shield here that's painted red, I don't have that much leeway with the painting to give me my wood grain technique, unfortunately. I think now I'm actually going to get the whole surface area covered properly. PVA glue being thick gives it a pattern as well. Yeah, I'm going to use a couple of different techniques because, as I said, I'm purposely building this as individual planks so that each plank will have its own kind of grain like it does on the shield. There's very little consistency across that. So yeah, I want to use a couple of different techniques to give me different varyings of wood grain. You can see, for instance, that second top one is really heavily textured, but the wide one there at the tip of my finger is almost smooth as a baby's bum, as is this third bottom one. So yeah, there's varying textures across all of those planks. So a couple of different techniques are going to do really well. Oh, that's my Pernisher shirt. Because when you're like, they're all little kitties. Yeah, right. Okay, I tried to be cute. That's it. That's as far as it goes. That's as cute as you get on my stream, guys. And aren't you glad that's where it stops? There we go. Beautiful. Some strategic planning, and two sheets of foam actually will work sufficiently to cover that. I need to put a key on those so that I don't mess them up. So I'm going to, the first step will be to butt join all of these extended bits of foam. Then I'll worry about shaping them to the circle. Circle, 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 circle. So those two are going together. These two are going together. And I didn't key those two, but they're the only two that weren't keyed, so should be right. So yeah, basically now what I'm going to do is I'm going to butt join all of these together to give me my planks. Und there is my wonderfully smelly glue. With my trusty paddle pop stick glue applicator, because I'm too damn cheap to buy paintbrushes. And as I've probably mentioned several times before, replacing a paddle pop stick means I get to treat myself with an ice cream. That's that one. I see you lurking there with no pants on. I see you. That's okay, that'll come apparent in a minute, guys. What the hell is he talking about? Lurking with no pants on. So yeah, the ice cream stick as an applicator gives me a very nice application of glue. I think it does. It gets me right to the very edge. That means I can smooth out and cover the entire surface nicely. Now I've checked with the client about this and he's okay with me. Are you off, help? No worries, buddy. State champs tomorrow. Good on you, mate. Let me know how they go. This is for that other activity that doesn't involve cosplay. You were playing WoW, were you? Right. Paladins don't play WoW. They play at playing WoW. Get yourself a real character. Roll a Death Knight. Behave, Aussie. See, look at that. Even Helter knows what you like, man. Oh, Beardy, you're making a For Honor costume. So is Aussie. Aussie is ploughing away on his Take 2 type of his For Honor. I've played it a little bit, but I don't play a lot of PvP, so I can't enjoy the game for gameplay as much as I'd like to. But I do love the aesthetics and the graphics in there, and their character art is just awesome. Speaking of character art, I'm making a personal project to make the Frost Axe from God of War. The newest iteration of God of War will be released shortly on the PS4, and because I'm a PC gamer, I won't get to play it, but I like the weapon. I think I can make it and do it justice, and then the plan is to take it to Supernova with me and see if I can't get Christopher Judd to sign it, because he is the voice of Kratos this time round. What's up, Carry On? Thank you very much for the host, brother. Okay. There's one. Need a Warden helm patterns, let you know. See, there we go. Aussie's got some patterns there to start tinkering around with. I think he actually said he was making a Warden too. Rather than talk for him, I'll let him pop back into chat and tell you. Excessive glue there bubbling up on the surface. I find it's easier to remove while it's still a little moist. I've downloaded the latest version of OBS Studio, this 18.0.1, which apparently had a lot of bugs fixed in it, but they've got some more bloody widgets on the bottom of my screen. How long I've been live, 1 hour and 2 minutes. How long I've been recording, 1 hour and 2 minutes. My CPU drain, 13.6%, my frames per second, and this blinking green square, which looks like it's kilobits per second, which changes color and irritatingly goes red every once in a while. It's like, what's the problem? Like that just then. Because it dropped down to 500 frames a second when it's floating around about 7 to 8. Okay. And that will be where I get my drop frame rate from, more than likely. My crapping at Australian broadband service. Still haven't decided on what I'm going to wear to Supernova yet. I'm going to take the Nordic down for at least a one-day outing down there. I want to do a test of the repairs that I've done, and wearing them around for a day of the convention is probably as good as any way to test my repairs that I can think of. But as for day 2, I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. I was talking to a mate of mine, I've got an idea, but I haven't felt the zing of that idea. How are you, Mike? What's up? I'm making a shield, having a good day, because it's 11:30 at night, so I'm pretty much, if any shit's going to happen in my day, it will have happened by now. And how are you settling into your new digs? Made a difference to the visuals in your video, man. Watching your stream there, although I had to bail, buddy. I kept getting horrendous amounts of buffering while I was watching you last night, man. So I jumped out and reset my machine, and you had to log off of WoW. Couldn't have the housemate YouTubing, playing WoW, me on WoW, and watching Twitch. No. The new pad is great? Good. You seemed a lot happier in your stream, man. So, your personal zen is in a better place, I think. The move is going to do you the world of good. Because a happy creative is a creative. Unless you're Vincent van Gogh, and then you got to chop your ear off and wait till you die and all that sort of shit, and that's just depressing. You miss the gunfire when Mike is streaming. I bet Mike doesn't fucking miss it. You missed the gunfire too, okay. I was wrong then. Get things spicy. Okay, better bloody did. You guys can't actually see what the hell I'm doing, can you? Let's tip that back up a bit. So yeah, all I'm doing is butt joining the planks to give me the full length that I need to make the shield with. And I'm purposely doing it as individual planks so that I can get a more textured look. When we put them all together. Come on, get right to the edge on that. That's better. Put that one there so the glue isn't touching anything. Where's it? He said but. But. Who's the PC tech person here? Yeah, pass. I haven't done that for so long ago that when I was selling PC tech, we were still on VGA cards, mate. Congrats. Oh, thank you very much, Lee. Yeah, we did it as a team. It was you guys coaching me and encouraging me that kept me building. So I'm blaming you guys for that win, all right? But don't tell anybody else. They think it was all my work. Okay. Bring these suckers together to give me a nice flush exposed surface so that's going to be pretty damn smooth for the next 5+ years. It's a really, really long time when you're talking computer technology. Something just fell over down there. It wasn't vitally important and it didn't go smash, so we'll just let it fall on over. I'm getting the contact adhesive on the tips of my fingers. I'll be able to go out and commit crimes because I'll have no fingerprints. I put that together too soon while it was wet. It's not the best way to treat your phone, but leave it sit a little bit longer this time around. Alston Kwan, Alston, OK Photography. Oh yes, took photos at the con, didn't he? Yes. You're nearing 900 item level, by the way. Cool bananas. That's pretty damn good. Pretty damn powerful. PvP gear or raid gear, dude? Okay, so I'm going to give that a sec to dry, and that's the last plank. Then we'll lay the planks out on the ground upside down, put that round circular disc on there, trace around them so that I can then cut them down to the shield shape. And today, boys and girls, we're going through the round window. Actually think the tapered ones go. Okay, so that's down, that's up. Okay, we got two. No, that puppy's longer than that. So we're looking at something like, oh, we're missing one. Thought it looked a bit wonky. Whoa, look out, my name's coming up all over the bloody place there. Raid gear, we'll be doing mythic raids when you break the 900 button. My guild is still not big enough yet for raids. We don't even have enough for dungeons. Aww. Too many pallies in your guild? Come on, I thought Pellys were the utility players. You can tank, you can DPS, you can heal, you just go in there by yourself. Cosplay, brother. Well, primarily display and cosplay. So I've guaranteed him a convention compliant and safe shield. Excuse me. I have my Facebook shut down at the moment because it takes bandwidth while I'm streaming. And good. That's the daughter reporting in from a night at the Speedway. Okay, so that's the last one. Let's work out where the hell that's supposed to go. I'm thinking, based on its length, it might be something like that. Although this is looking lopsided now, so they're all fitting in nicely. That's not. No. I probably should have written the placement on these before I lifted them up. And I want the grain of the core flute to run against the grain of the planks. For some reason now I've got the bit's not quite working. Thinking those two. That gives me opposite top and tails, which is what I worked my way across the shield doing. That's better. It's a bit snug, but it's better. And again, that needs to be turned 90 degrees. It's a small thing, but it'll give it some more structural integrity. Oh, head spin, getting down on the ground, getting back up again. Ah, okay. Breaking the 890, heel parties, tank and DPS, it's great. You should try Pally. No, no, I'll never try the Pally. Actually, I've got a Paladin. Got it for a couple of cakes, and seeing as you can't afford the PC, you'll have to do for now. Primarily play on the console at the moment anyway. Okay. DLC is now hosting me. Thank you, DLC. Appreciate that. Easty, what have you posted up there? Punish Prop Files Beginner's Guide. Yes. That's the book. That's the one. Grab that for a starter, okay? Add that to your collection and build from there, mate. Yeah, I was online during the stream when that happened, and yes, we had so many people hit his website to download that book that his site crashed, and we thought it was going to be up in a couple of hours, and it wasn't. So he's come up with a solution, he's worked around it, and now he's giving away the book for free forever, as opposed to giving it away for free on just his birthday like he normally does. Okay, so I'm going to tack those into place with my panel pins, or my sewing pins, and then once I've got them all, I'll trace a line around the outside, pull the pins out, and then number them on the back from left to right so I don't have that schmozzle again. I'll know which ones go where they're supposed to go. Once I've trimmed the circle around, I can then lop off all the corners and turn those planks into circles, and I can start looking at the process of turning them into individual planks. I'm also going to coat the surface that you can see in foam as well, so it'll be a foam sandwich with the core flute in the middle. There's a hole to be cut out of the center where the handle goes across and your hand tucks into the hole, and on the outside is where that black dome that you can see there is protecting your hand. So behind that dome is actually hollow right through the back of the shield, and I've got some screenshots that confirm that. So yes. Next step, making them a disc instead of individual planks, sticky outy like that. So back over there to the quiet part of the room, and with my black marker. So I'm going to pin this one into place a lot, and then push the others up against it and pin them into place. So use this one as an anchor to ensure that there's no gaps, and I can see that it needs to come down a tad. There we go. Because the core flute was overhanging. Now once again, because this is a project that's got a rough finish to it, the pins are not going to bother me a whole lot when it comes to the end result, because the wood's supposed to be roughly hewn, not smooth and shiny. La 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 la. It's a lot easier to handle having them pinned down as I'm working my way across. Geez, some of those are a really tight fit now, as in height-wise, whether they're actually going to protrude out the foam or not. Out the core flute, I should say, just so we can differentiate between one and the other. Drink. Doink. Because this one's holding them, we'll give them a few more just to keep it all anchored. Lovely. Okay. Give it a second run round just to make sure. Good arg. Okay, at least it's all in one place now. Oh, head spinner. Down and up and down and up and down and up. Okay, what's that? Attack a random plush toys that you made. Okay. Let's see. It's a hot dog. Alrighty, why not? Like you said, random plush toy. Why not? Well, you're not lying. That's exactly what it was. It's a... You guys are weird. That's why I like you. Okay. Just rough placement guides now. Out with pins, and then number each piece to correspond with its placement across the phone, across the core flute. 1. Into an arrow, so I know what I'm doing. 2. 3. If you haven't done craft work on the floor, you haven't really crafted. 4. So carried away, I had 2 pins plunged in there together. 5. 6, and the arc is going the other way, so we're at the halfway mark. 7. 8. 9. 3/4. Sorry about that, you're back. Did you miss much? No, just me crouching down on the floor driving my vertigo and indigestion insane. Ding! It's midnight! Okay, so now that I have them in order, I have the circle marked off on them, and I have the back of the core flute keyed for each of those pieces to go back into place in the right order. I can start turning these into a circle by cutting off that excess material. So let's grab them all. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm cutting to the outside of the line so that I can round it off a bit with the Dremel. It gives me a little material to work with. Yeah, on this side of the globule, maybe not on your side of the globule, but on my side of the globule it's midnight. 5 p.m. Yeah, 5 p.m. yesterday. Because Ozzy and I live in the future. And so far, despite Donald Trump's best efforts, Syria has not retaliated and we have not been plunged into World War III. But it's early. Will I be using pink foam? No. Aussie, no pink foam. I'm all at cherry pie. She's my cherry pie. Cool drink water. Make a grown man cry. I have I have no pink foam left. I know, shock, horror, sacrilege, etc. I got white and baby blue is all I got left in my grand stack of foam. Technically in your world, you're still on Friday. I was seeing as that was the last time you slept. Okay, I was going to say, where the fuck are you that your time zone is still Friday? But only in your head. Go out and buy some. Why? Just to keep your pantsless bloody party happy? I don't think so. Besides, you go watch Vikings. The last colour you're going to equate to them on their shields is pink. You thought that foam lasted a long time? It does, except most of it's been used and painted over and is no longer pink, my friend. You're painting pink gun, if that counts. There we go, Aussie. There's some pink. Carry on's got you covered. How do I know when you lose your pants? Well, you start talking about pink bits, mate. It's kind of your tell. Well, it's normal for us. It's not normal for you, no. Painting a Gears of War 4 Mark II Lancer rifle in a custom pink scheme. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that there, man. Yeah. You're not going all Hello Kitty on us, are you? That's hot. Why did I have Paris Hilton leap into my head? Hmm? Cherry Pie would love a Hello Kitty themed Lancer from Game of War. How do you know that? Huh? Are you just assuming what lights Cherry Pie's fire? Monster High, not Hello Kitty. Oh, God, you're not joking. Okay, then. Okay, Aussie. Not like we were worried about you before, but for you to actually instigate an argument about whether Hello Kitty beats Monster High, I think it might be time we checked your meds, mate. We all know Hello Kitty rocks. Yeah, that's got to go on there to finish that up because I nicked a bit. There's probably a little bit on the tip there that needs to be done because that's not a Just putting it out there. Dude, we know. That's why we're aware that you're not wearing pants. You're always putting it out there. That's part of your charm. Charm. Thank God for off cuts. You got the idea from some awesome gals on Instagram who gave a car and weapons in a pink Hello Kitty theme. All post-apocalyptic crime. You didn't want to outright copy them, so yeah, sweet. Yeah. Bar humbug. That's better. You have charm. Yeah, I was trying to be diplomatic, polite and shit instead of outright just offending you. But yes, you have charm. Oh God, I'm never going to hear the end of that, am I? You're so pretty, oh so pretty and witty and bright. There you go. Happy now? Your housemate has a level 56 pally. It's really, really fucking sad. You've corrupted your poor defenseless housemate, brought him across to the world of WoW, and then made him a freaking pally. God. Okay, so yes, obviously when the when everything moved, I didn't drop everything back exactly where it was supposed to be, and I've clipped some edges and I haven't got them in the right. You're going to unplug your headphones and talk about pallies more. Oh dear. Carry On used to play well. Bet you didn't play a pally, did you? You had style, you had class, you had pizzazz. Unless, of course, you played a Nelf, and then I'm not talking to you anymore. I think I might have to do the little tip down and there. Hello Kitty everything. Okay. You think it was a goblin or something? It is. The Hello Kitty Warhammer 40k is a thing, and I've even seen a Pikachu 40k. He doesn't like DKs. Well, I'm glad he's your flatmate and not mine. He wouldn't survive a heartbeat around here. Suspicious Tumble! Oh, and Procrastination Props. How are you guys going? Thanks for joining us today. Procrastination Props did this on a commission a while back, which means we've got to click on the Instagram link and take a look. Yeah, carry on. Of course you can post a link. You know the drill. Saber, a Hello Kitty saber. Actually, it's the Vader saber, but that pommel is a bit pommelistic. What was that? Who did I miss? God damn it. I'm sorry. I was busy looking at the Instagram link. I didn't see who just followed. Somebody let me know who that was so I can say thank you to them, please. Pretty please. It was suspicious. Oh, thank you very much. I thought you were already in the crew, man. But thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that. Now you can be bothered by email every time I go live. That'll be huge. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought you were already following me. Hype on this stream? No, I don't think we have hypes. But feel free to throw hypes up there if you want to. Okay, I got to put that little bit there. So, can you say it was you so you get another thank you? Dude, I don't think I even thanked you the first time, did I? Come on. Did I? Did I really? Okay, so there's another little piece just to make that all nice and pretty. Too tired to type. Too tired to hype. Dude, if you're that tired, honestly, please get some rest, man. Appreciate the support. Appreciate you being compos mentis and being able to support us later on. If you're knackered, then that's your body's way of saying, charge my batteries, dude. Thank you very much for the host there, Suspicious Tumble. I see that a few of the guys have bots that pop up that let them know that they have been hosted, or actually the whiffers. Oh, yep, I hear ya. My daughter's started work and I've taken over babysitting responsibilities during that time. The problem is, I said thank you for wearing pants. The problem with that is that her knock off time and my start work time at night tend to clash a little bit. Okay, off to work. Sick as a mule, but still off to work. Sorry to hear that procrastination. Right, look after yourself. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it. All these lovely people hanging out in our community. That's what makes it so goddamn cool. So once I've glued this little tab on here, I'm going to flip them over and grab the Dremel and start just doing the joining edges so they don't sit flush anymore, so that they've got gaps like you can see in the reference image. You can see how the pieces do not fit flush. They're, they're showing age and texture and life, some character. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to give it some character. Still have to come up with something to wear for Supernova. Okay, so all my pieces are numbered, registered, and are orientated, so that by rights this build should fall together correctly. Now we all know the best laid plans of mice, men and foam fabricators often go astray. Not the fact that my workspace isn't goddamn big enough to lay them all out, but that isn't an issue because we're not going to lay them all out. That's going to be a lot of sanding to take this texture off so that I can glue it down to the core flute. And I may do that tomorrow outside with my handy dandy belt sander. Yeah. I got a bench belt sander a couple of weeks ago. Which even swinging the camera around won't expose to you because it's hiding underneath the table behind some stuff. But I think with this amount of stuff that needs to be sanded, the belt sander just zing will work well. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to flip them all over now, and these joining edges, I'm purposely going to hit with the Dremel roughly to give these gaps between the boards a little bit of depth and life and stuff so that it actually looks like individual planks making up the shield, as it does, god dang it, as it does right there. They're definitely individual planks. So we want them to look like definite individual planks. I don't want to do a really smooth flush glue here like I've done here. Yeah? You get it. I'm just being repetitive now for the sake of being repetitive and making sure that the little bevels... is the shield big enough? The shield is big enough, but as you said, there will be no bubble, no hearthing, no crying for your mommy. Okay, I do get to use my Dremel and my Dremel workstation. So I'm going to quieten down the mic a bit, just so it's not the predominant, and I'll bring that up. Now that the track is ending, of course. Okay. Can it stop an axe? A wood chopping axe or a people killing axe? Doesn't matter. So there you go. See, very definite, distinct joint between the two. So there you go. Yeah, see, very definite joining of the two. I'm doing it roughly. I don't want a nice even join. I want it to look like the edge of planks. Can it stop an axe? Doesn't matter if it's a people killing axe or a wood chopping axe. Hell yeah! It's a line from WoW. And your housemate wants to know, have I ever played a pally? Yes. Yes, I have a pally. He is pathetic because he's a pally. But I don't need to tell you that. You already know that. He's got a grudge because he threw the towel in on a DK. Well, if you can't win after rolling a DK, maybe you're in the wrong game. People killing hats. There you go. See? Okay, up with the background music, down with the volume, back into the grinding. Why, are you planning on sitting on it? Is it gonna have real splinters? It's not going to be battle damaged and bloodied and stuff. He's not after that. So I'm going to make as close as I can to what we see on the screen there. So that kind of look. How do you fill the seams and the joins in? How do I fill seams and joins when I want a nice clean, if I haven't got clean like this, I use Selly's No More Gaps, which is a liquid acrylic caulking for bathrooms, which is water-based when you start. And then I use Magic, according to according to some sources. Yeah, so I use a caulking gun, the bathroom sealant. It's water-based when I start, so with a wet finger I can get a really nice smooth finish. Lightly sand it when it's dry, and away I go. But yeah, I try to get rid of my seams right from the very get-go, from the gluing process. I'm purposely opening these ones up to make them look more dramatic like they do on the shield. But normally, yeah, that's my solution, dude. Don't buy silicone caulking. No, acrylic caulking, yeah. Don't buy it ever. Ever? I mean, I'm sure they make it for a specific purpose. Shouldn't you be buying it for that specific purpose, as opposed to ever? Only a Sith deals in absolutes. Trying out Andrew DFT's The Frontline Trooper, absolutely. Method right now with art clay, big holes where I layered the foam, okay. Oh yes, you used the silicone caulking and then couldn't paint over the top of it. Well, that's a good reason why not to use it, but yeah. I think that's given me the, they'll sit closer together, of course, but they will look, yeah, liking that. That's a good place to start I want very definite gaps. You can see with the lighting on that there are very definite, while the boards fit flush, you can see that these were not pristine prepared boards before he made that shield, or the shield was made for him. So continuing on, halfway mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway mark. Okay, there we go. Hey, carry on. Oh no, suspicious. Absolutely. If it's up here on my Twitch, it's free domain. You want to use the technique you see me use, you go right ahead, dude. That's some part of the course of sharing it to the world. It's fair game. If there's something that I do that you can get a use out of, then more than happy for you to pick it up and run with it, man. Ozzy, might try a small sample before you go big. Just make sure it does work. I've never done it myself, but I've been told that's how you do it. Remember who said it? It may have been in Punish Props or even Evil Ted. Dum dum dum. What's the other cause prop stream? Could be good go home. Yeah. I remember us having a depressing conversation, Ozzy, because that's what we did. Okay. So yes, I think that's given me some rough texture. I've made like the occasional one smooth, because you can see in there's one or two planks that look like they might have been milled to a higher standard than the others. But to give me that, break up that continuity. So that one will be nice and smooth edges on it and a smoother grain in it. And I'm just checking now to make sure that my top and tails for longs and shorts, that end, that end, that end, that end, are alternating. Cool. Unfortunately, I've glued my camera down, so I can't lift it up to give you a greater field of view of what that disc is going to look like. But definitely individual planks. Now to slap some varying wood grains on them across the whole box and dice to give it some texture. What do we got? We've got 20 to 1 and we've been going for 2 hours. It's a secret as to what you're having for dinner. Okay then. Fair enough. I can see from zip, hang on. I hope your secret food is tasty. Yeah. Youch. My daughter was at the drags today. Somebody hit the wall at 500 kilometers an hour, so they pretty much wrapped up the races not too shortly after that. Although apparently that driver got up and walked away. Safety first, boys and girls. Where is my dust broom? Over here. Yeah, me. What's that? You have weird food phobias. I have a food phobia, yeah. I have a phobia that I'm never gonna eat again. I'm gonna starve to death. That's my only food phobia. That and my ex-wife's cooking. That used to scare the Jesus out of me. Oh yeah. Missing out on something here on the whole message machining. Tara, when you're done sweeping up the table, can you sweep your house? No, I can't. Ooh. Might have to answer that. That's somebody asking for a quote for me to do a wedding. And seeing as that pays for my cosplaying, it's kind of important. Righto. So, I'm going to try and orientate those. There we go. Consider these to be the pieces on the shield in orientation. So this is the very top one that you can see. This is the second one. This one here is going to get rough texturing. I'm going to try and keep to the plan. Stan, try to emulate it as much. While I've told him I don't make replicas, I'm going to make it as close as I can to his shield. So this second one here needs all that deep, groovy kind of groovy, baby. Like the second top one there at the tip of my finger. Okay, so that's going to get some light grain in it, but this one's going to get some heavier stuff in it. So I did turn the volume back up again. Yeah, you can hear me. Good. Good thing I numbered them. Let's turn those and keep them all in the same orientation. 2 and 3 and... Whoa, what? That way. They're out of order. Righto. That's number 2. That's the one. Atashi Cosplay, hello. So yeah, I've purposely tried to make this one look a lot more like that second top one there. So far more rough hewn. It's a really deep kind of trench around it on the reference image on the line that joins that too. So I might do a slightly deeper scoring in there to try and keep it close to the actual shield. So let's give that a whiz. What do I missed? You found some awesome little foam cutting tools on the interest that you've cut on the internet that you covered. Angle bed that you can set for normal 40 and 90 or 45s. Ooh. Ah, yes, I think I know the ones you mean. So there we go. That's supposed to look like. And let's orientate them so they're like they are on the shield that way. So that's supposed to be that heavier, darker line there that you can see on the top one, or the second top one there. Like I said, I'm not trying to make an absolute replica, but I do want it to look like that shield when it's done. So now we're going to move down to the third one. From what I can see, some heavier stuff on the top end underneath that curve, and some more detail around there. So it's going to be lightly grained like this one, but with some work in the texture as we go. On what end is it? This end here, so on the joint end and on the other end. Okay, back down with the volume level on the mic. Zip. There we go. I think it's starting to look like they're actual individual planks, that I don't have that continuity that I would have had trying to make them look like individuals on one big slab. So hopefully I'm pulling it off. It's going to look like a bit like that shield. I noticed a bit of a chunk missing close to the center, so I pulled that off of that one. This piece goes in next, and that is the transition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So this line here is basically the center line of the shield. And yeah, and each piece looks like it's a different piece. And if you, let's see if I can't. Yeah. Okay. I try to orientate that the way that I see the shield being. If anything, that notch there probably should have come off of this edge rather than this edge. Meh. Like I said, I don't make replicas, and the guy knows that it's my interpretation of that shield that I'll be making him, but I'll make it as close as I possibly can for him. Now the two centerpieces look like they're fairly smooth. The grain is not as pronounced in these two centerpieces that, let me get my orientation right. These two centerpieces here that hold the boss, they look fairly smooth. So I'm going to put some grain in there, but light like that piece. So it's there, but it's not overpowering like these other pieces are. Sure. I shall continue. Which means I'm going to turn the microphone back down again a bit. So chat amongst yourselves, guys. Sorry about that, Suspicious. Catch you later. Thanks for joining us. Glad you stuck around for a while. Okay, they definitely look like different wood grains to me. I'm kind of happy with that. I'm going to hit it with the heat gun now, though, and see what that does to it. Because we're up to that kind of stage. Something doesn't look right between those two pieces, though. Stay there, you. What are you? You're 7, which means you should be 8. And you're not. You're 5. Aha! Okay, let's turn it 90 degrees so the pieces don't fall off the end of the table and see how we go. Okay. Where are we? This is number 10. This is number 1. This is number 2. So those to go together. 5. The hell is that? Okay. 9, 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, and 4. There we go. A shield. Woohoo! And if we orientate it to the same grain line that the shield in that's what I tried to get close to. Actually, it's downside up. This one is the bottom one, and that one is the top one. You know what would make this easier? This would make this easier. 10. 9. 8. 1, 2, and 3. 4. 5. 6. And our missing number 7, our heavy duty bastard. So now that's kind of orientated the way that the shield in the reference image is. Whoop. You can see I've gone the lighter one, the really heavy one, a medium grain one, medium grain one. Those two are supposed to be relatively light. The two center ones, the boss will go right out here in the center. The next one underneath the boss is quite heavily textured. The next one down is relatively smooth. The one below that is kind of like mid, and the one at the bottom is another heavy textured one. So, yeah. I think I nailed it. Gonna hit them with the heat gun now and see what happens once we seal them up and see what happens to these Dremel bits. Hopefully I don't lose too much of it. The next stage will be gluing them together into a solid disc, and because we're almost at the 3-hour mark, that'll pretty much be it for the evening, ladles and jelly spoons, fond followers of the stream. Well, that is probably about 20 minutes to half an hour away yet, so let's continue on. Well, the good thing is the heat gun is doing exactly what you would expect it to do. It's opening up those wood grain trenches a little and making them a little more dominant. I plan on painting the shield with a dark red, but a lighter shade than you see on the shield, and doing the black shoe polish wash, which will get into these wood grains even more and make them... Now I'm debating whether I should actually do what I said and glue these together tonight, or whether I should actually use the belt sander on them as individuals to clear the texture off the back, so I can glue them to that core flute. I do think doing them as individual slots, individual planks on the belt sander, getting rid of the texture on the back is going to be a lot easier and make them much easier to handle. So I think I might actually do that, guys. Running these through the belt sander like this to get rid of this bit, it's going to be a lot easier than running this whole disc across the belt sander. So yes, once I've heat sealed these, I think I might call that the end of tonight's stream, gang. Yowza, that thing gets warm. Get out from underneath there. I've got a pencil sitting there. So there we go, gang. That's the shield for the moment. And in case you didn't hear me over the hairdryer, over the hot air gun, it's going to be a lot easier to take the texture off the back with these as individual pieces on the belt sander, rather than gluing them all together and then trying to get this disc through the belt sander. So I will leave the gluing until tomorrow, I think, after I've belt sanded them. Thanks, carry on. I think we're going to sell the story of the shield anyway. It should work well. He should be happy enough with it. Obviously, these will get sanded and glued to our core flute. The back of the core flute will be covered with another layer of foam, not in planks though, and then that layer of foam will be covered with the same suede stuff, this fake pleather that I used on the back of my shield, because the back of the shields in the Vikings looks like it's covered in a leather hide, in one just brown leather. So I'm going to do that. There's no grain, there's no separations. It's one solid flat brown surface back there. The reason I'm going to use a second layer of foam is to give this more rigidity and to give it that inch thick look that you can see on the top edge there. You can see the shield is a good, you know, where's my camera? 2.5 centimeters, 3 centimeters thick. Part of that is the width of the beading. What time am I going to stream tomorrow? Bloody good question. I don't know. Same as I normally do, nighttime. So yeah, about 10 p.m. my time onwards. So what I've been streaming 3 hours now. It's 1 a.m. my time. So yeah, probably from 3 hours earlier than now, kind of thing. I know that's not much help. I'm in West Australia. Nobody knows what the time is here. So yes, 10 p.m. my time. So 3 hours ago tomorrow. All right? Yeah. So about 10 o'clock my time. So 3 hours ago tomorrow. That makes sense. So by that time, the back of these will be sanded. I'm about 5 out. Well, it's a 1:15 a.m. now. Carry on. In my time. That bit's irritating me already. Wow, that's still retaining so much heat. That's better. So I like this. I think he's going to end up with a shield that looks like it's made out of wooden planks. It'll be the right size for both him and the actor after doing screen measurements on his height. He's 181. Sorry, he's 188. The actor who plays Bjorn. 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 Now, everybody with Scandinavian heritage is just gone, you bastard, and dropped off my feed. Okay then. Love you heaps, guys. Let me tilt this up and do the thingy that I do at the end of the thingy that I always do. Okay. Oh, look at me with foam dust. Rightio. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tyrannus Cosplay. It says so right there. This has been my work on Bjorn's shield from Vikings. Woo-hoo! And don't forget, it's called Cosplay, because this stuff is meant to be fun.